Hello you guys and welcome back. All right, today we're going to go over line plots. I'm specifically going over the first question on your line plots worksheet, and that is the one that has the date and the day on the front of it. It's the one about selling boxes of chocolate. All right, so I've already got our line plot up here, and if you can see, what I've done is I've already calculated or counted the total number of X's for each day, right? So that's the first thing, is looking at our graph, right? These are the number of days at the bottom, and these X's, it shows us on the worksheet that each X represents one box of chocolate sold, right? So that means one day he sold 4 boxes of chocolate, right? On the second day, he sold 3 boxes of chocolate. On the third day, he sold 8 boxes of chocolate, and so forth. And again, I got these numbers just by counting. Right, on day 1, I count 1, 2, 3, 4 X's, so the total was 4 boxes of chocolates. Same with day 2, there's 3 X's, which means 3 boxes of chocolates were sold on day 2. All right, and so forth. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm looking at my worksheet along with you guys. All right, and question number 1 is asking us, what is the mode of this line plot? Right, so we haven't talked about mode yet. We're going to get more into that next week, actually. But mode is very simple. It's the most frequently occurring number, or really what number occurs the most. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that day 6, visually we can see it has the most number of X's, but also we know, because we counted, 12 is the most number of boxes sold. So again, day 6 would be our mode, because that was the most frequent number. All right, number 2 asks how many days were 3 or more boxes of candy sold. All right, so notice it's asking about days right now. All right, so I'm not counting the total number of X's. I want to know how many days were 3 or more boxes of candy sold. All right, and also notice it says 3 or more. So we're including the number 3, but also anything more than 3. So I see on day 1, 4 is more than 3, so we sold more than that. All right, on day 2, that will count as well, because remember that's 3 or more. Same with day 3 and 4, because day 5 we only sold 1 box, so that's not going to be included. So again, we want the total number of days where 3 or more boxes of candy sold. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so there were 9 days. Right, we counted a total of 9 days to where we sold 3 or more boxes of chocolate. All right. Number 3 wants to know how many boxes of candy were sold on day 6. And so now realize the question is asking specifically for the number of boxes. So this is when we do count the X's, right? So we're looking for the total number of boxes on day 6. So we're looking at day 6, and we've already counted, we sold 12 boxes on day 6, right? So the answer is simply 12. All right, number 4 is asking how many more boxes did Tom sell on 7 compared to day 9? All right, so again here, it's asking for the number of boxes. So that means we're counting these little X's, because those are representing our boxes of chocolate. All right, and we're comparing day 7 and day 10. All right, so day 7, we sold 11, and on day 10, we sold 6 boxes. Right, and since it's asking how many more boxes were sold, that means it's looking for the difference between those 2 days. So we're going to subtract those total, and 11 minus 6 gives us 5. Right, so again, that key word of how many more boxes did he sell, asking it that way is asking for the difference between those days, which is why we subtracted the total from day 7 was 11, and the total from day 10 was 6, and we got 5. All right, on to question number 5. Right? How many days were 6 or more boxes of candy sold? So now it's back to asking about the days. We're looking for how many days we sold 6 or more boxes of candy. All right, so I see days 1 and 2, that's not more than 6. But on day 3, we sold 8 boxes, so that's going to count in our total. Right, on day 6, we sold 12, so that's going to count. Right, we're looking for 6 or more boxes, so that's going to count. 10 counts. All these are going to count because it's 6 or more. So I'm counting a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Right, there were a total of 6 days where we sold 6 or more boxes of chocolate. Right, number 6 is asking us, how many days did Tom sell less than 7 boxes? Right, so notice the difference in wording here. Now it's asking just less than 7. It does not say 7 or less. Right, we just want to know how many days we sold less than 7 boxes. So this time we are not going to include 7 in our answer. Right, so for example, day number 9 we sold 7 boxes. We're not going to include that day in our count because, again, we're not including 7 in our total. We just want to know how many days we sold less than 7 boxes. All right, so looking at how many we did less than 7, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because, again, we don't count day 9. All right, I counted a total of 5 days. All right. Number 7, we want to know the combined amount of boxes that Tom sold on day 9 and day 1. Right, so again, it's asking us for the total number of boxes, but it's specifically asking for the combined amount, which means we're going to add those two totals together. Right, so we're looking at day 9 and day 1. On day 1, we sold 4 boxes. On day 9, we sold 7 boxes. And again, we're combining these total, which means we add them to get 11. So on days 9 and day 1, he sold a total of 11 boxes of chocolate. All right, question 8. Which days, if any, did he sell more than 8 boxes? So again, you guys, that wording, well, first of all, we're talking about boxes again, right? We're going to count our number of X's. But that wording of more than means we are not going to include 8 in our total, right? We do not want to know how many boxes were 8 or more. It's just strictly more than 8, right? So, for example, day number 3, we are not going to include this day in our count because we need totals that are more than 8, right? So for question 8, I'm counting 1, 2, 3 days. Right, there were 3 days where we sold more than 8 boxes of chocolate. All right. Number 9. How many days did Tom sell fewer than 4 boxes of chocolate? So again, you guys, it's asking for how many days fewer than 4. So 4 is not being included in our answer. We just want to know fewer than 4. Right, so again, I'm looking for totals because we're asking, I'm sorry, I got caught up for a second. Right, we're looking for how many days did he sell 4 or less boxes. So we're trying to see which totals are 4 or less and see how many days that happens. Right, so I'm counting 1 day, 2, and that's it. Those are the only 2 days where we sell less than 4 boxes of chocolate. All right. Number 10 over here. All right, number 10 asks, did Tom sell fewer boxes on day 7 or day 8? Right, so it's asking which one he sold fewer boxes on. So we're looking for the day he sold less, the least amount of boxes on. But again, we're just comparing 7 and day 8. Right, on day 7, we already counted. He sold 11 boxes on day 7. And on day 8, he sold 10 boxes. Right, so hopefully we see 10 is less than 11. So it was on day 8 that he sold the fewer number of boxes. Right, between 7 and 8, there were fewer boxes sold on day 8. All right, And lastly, number 11, what day did Tom sell the greatest number of boxes? Well, that's actually the same thing as we just did for number 1, right? Remember, number 1 asked for the mode, and I already told you the mode is the most frequently occurring number. And we already said that's the number that occurs the most, right? So again, we've already looked at that. Day 6 is where we sold the most boxes of chocolate. Alright guys, so that hopefully helped you got through the first question. I think on the back, they're all pretty much the exact same, with the exception of one question. There's one question on the back that asks you, how many in all? Or let me see what the exact wording is. Oh yeah, how many pies were eaten all together? All together. Right? So in this case, if I was asking how many boxes of chocolate did he sell all together, Tom, that's his name. Right? If I asked you how many boxes of chocolate that Tom sold all together, we would add all of those X's. Because remember, X's is representing each box of chocolate. So to find the total all together, we would simply add all of those X's up. Alright guys, so I hope this helps. Remember, we want to get this line plots worksheet turned in by the end of the week. So please make sure you get on top of that. If you still have questions, please let me know. Just message me through Etsy. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. Bye.